Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over what coasters I could potentially see coming to Thorpe Park Resort in the near future. So if you guys do go on to enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, anything that makes me know you guys like my content, and definitely as well as that, leave any video suggestions you guys have down in the comments below, and I'll try to reply to as many as I can. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, I've been wanting to do a video like this for quite a while now. However, I've never really gotten around to doing it. Obviously, I've been talking about the different teasers Thorpe Park have been putting out over the last couple of weeks, and I've even touched upon this type of stuff in some of my other videos. However, I've never actually made a full-length video on it. So that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. Now, I'm basically going to be going over potential themes that I could see coming to the park, potential locations these coasters could be going in, and also what potential types of coasters we could be seeing at the resort. So yeah, starting off at number one, I'm going to be talking about an Intimate Bliss. Now, if you don't know what these types of coasters are, they're pretty much multi-launch coasters. Now, you've seen some of these in the likes of Taron, Icon. They're very, very similar. Not necessarily just an Intimate, it could be any type of multi-launch coaster. I mean, there are a lot of manufacturers out there that do it. But yeah, I feel like this could be a perfect fit at Thorpe Park. Obviously, you know, we haven't got too many of them in the UK. Obviously, we've got Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but yeah, we haven't really got too many multi-launch coasters here in England, let alone the UK at all. So it would be really, really cool to see one of these come into the park. And I think the potential location for one of these to be added is actually on the island next to Swarm. Now, obviously, this is the island where a lot of people are speculating the brand new attraction will be going, if there even is a brand new attraction. So yeah, I feel like this could be the perfect spot for one of these coasters, mainly because they generally have quite compact layouts and not generally in quite an open space. They're generally confined into quite a small abandoned area. So yeah, I feel like this could be a really good fit at the park. Obviously, we've got things like Stealth, we've got Rita, Alton Towers. We never really had a multi-launch coaster at a Merlin park before. Now, in terms of theming, I could see for this coaster, I could potentially see it being a futuristic coaster. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about futuristic coasters quite a lot in today's video, mainly because obviously that's pretty much what the teasers have been for Thorpe Park in the last sort of couple of months. But yeah, I feel like it would really fit a coaster like this. Obviously, with the launch elements, it could maybe be themed to space travel, something like that. You know, there's a lot of potential for a coaster like this to have while it's being in sort of like a futuristic theme. So yeah, that's quite an interesting one. Not really something a lot of people have been asking for, but that's mainly more my perspective of what I would want at the park. Okay, so the second type of coaster I'm going to be talking about in today's video is actually, you guessed it, an RMC. Now, everybody has been talking about RMCs recently. I mean, pretty much if you go on the Thorpe Park's Twitter and look at the comments on pretty much every single post, there will at least be one person mentioning an RMC. Now, this is pretty much blown up really, and this is the main reason why I think we could potentially be seeing an RMC, is because a lot of people are talking about it and a lot of fans of the park are kind of demanding it, and that is the main reason why I think this could be Thorpe Park's brand new coaster, obviously, because they're going to take a look at this and think, well, right, this is what everyone wants, let's go and make this for them. And I feel like that could be the proper driving force between this and something else. Now, the potential places we could potentially see an RMC in the park is potentially maybe next to where Loggers Leap was, or on the spot where Loggers Leap is at the moment, plainly because obviously this is actually situated in Old Town. If they're going to make an RMC hybrid coaster, I feel like this would be the perfect place to do it, and it would probably have the perfect theming as well. Obviously, if you didn't already know, RMC hybrid coasters pretty much fuse wood and metal together. They're really cool looking coasters. They're generally quite large scale, and to be fair, there will be enough space here for a coaster like this. And obviously, with it being sort of themed to cowboys and like the western side of things, I feel like an RMC hybrid coaster could work really, really well with that sort of theme. Whether or not this would be themed to cowboys, I've got no clue, but like I said, it would really, really fit the park well. Okay, so the next type of coaster I'm going to be talking about is actually something that not a lot of people are talking about, but I feel could be a very, very interesting project, and that is actually a flying coaster. Now, obviously, if you've never been over to Alton Towers, basically they obviously have one that used to be known as Air, which is also now known as Galactica. Obviously, they started going on the whole VR side of things back in 2016, was it? Well, it might have been a little bit later. However, they obviously removed the VR from that attraction now, and it's pretty much gone back to normal, and there's not really too much much theming around. Obviously Galactica was themed to like space and futuristic stuff. Yeah, so potentially could we be seeing maybe a sort of sister coaster to Galactica at Thorpe Park, potentially being a flying coaster? I mean, it could be a really cool concept with the whole theme for this looking very futuristic. A sister coaster to Galactica isn't ruled out because obviously futurism is pretty much the whole part of Galactica. You're meant to be going into like a futuristic style space travel. So yeah, potentially we could be seeing maybe more of a themed version of Galactica at Thorpe Park, and not necessarily like the exact same theme as Alton Towers, but along the same lines, maybe even being like in the same sort of universe, much like obviously Nemesis Inferno that we've got at the park at the moment. Obviously it's not exactly identical to Nemesis at Alton Towers, however it's just pretty much carrying the name and having maybe sort of a similar theme to it. Yeah, I think this could be really cool. The potential places I could see this happening are on the island next to Swarm, obviously for many reasons. Obviously, like I said, this was quite a secluded place in the park. It'd be really easy to create a brand new area. Not to say that it's ruled out this could be in Logger's Leap spot. I mean, depending on whether or not they're willing to retheme a whole sort of area. I mean, I've always said Old Town needs a retheme. I mean, it's not really like a busy place in the park. You don't really see that many people walking around there unless they're obviously going to Saw or to, you know, Colossus. So I feel like maybe a new sort of coaster there and a massive new refurb with a massive area could look pretty cool for the sort of Old Town, the Old Town spot. So yeah, that is pretty much all I'm going to say for that. I don't really think a flying coaster will be coming, but you never know. You've got to mention these types of things because there's always a potential. Okay, so moving on to the Old Town sort of speculation, I kind of want to make a theory here that's been sort of like going around my head for quite a while, and I think could be really cool. Now, pretty much obviously this year at Fright Nights, or I keep saying this year, it's 2020 now, last year at Fright Nights we obviously got Creek Freak Massacre, which was, from what I saw, a really good big hit. And obviously that was located in the former Loggers station, pretty much confirming the Loggers is dead in the water. Not that we already knew that anyway. However, maybe we could potentially see a Saw retheme very soon. Comment actually did mention this in one of my older videos, and yeah, it really got me thinking about what could happen to Saw. I mean, with it being sort of already like in a warehouse type place, potentially we could be seeing it rethemed to a sawmill, keeping the rotating blades element of the ride. And yeah, pretty much maybe even carrying on the Creek Freak sort of thing. I mean, it's a perfect, pretty much, skin for it. I mean, you've got the traps outside, it's more like it's quite industrial place, and could easily be maybe with a repaint and a couple of obviously theming changes, believable as a sawmill. Obviously maybe even switching Creek Freak over to the Saw Alive building for 1 year to go along with this could be really cool, especially if there's been a lot of rumours about the Saw IP running out very soon. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but assuming it is, yeah, I could totally see something like this happening at the park. Okay, so moving on to the last coaster I'm going to be talking about in today's video, and this is actually a hyper coaster. Now, this is another one of them coasters that has been quite a lot talked about in the last couple of years, you know, in regards to Thorpe Park. A lot of people have wanted either an RMC or a hyper coaster. Me personally, I feel like an RMC is more likely than a hyper coaster. However, I'm not going to rule it out completely because there is still an option that it could come to the park. Now, the main problem with a hyper coaster at Thorpe Park Resort is the fact that they are generally big, tall, large-scale rides, and A, would cost a lot of money, and B, could pretty much overshadow Stealth, which is their tallest ride in the park, standing over 205 feet, and generally hypercoasters are over 200 feet, so maybe we could be seeing maybe a mini hyper at the park. And yeah, this is quite an odd one to sort of predict where this could be, because generally hypercoasters need quite a lot of space, but many people have mentioned that potentially a hypercoaster could run down the side of Monk's Walk. If you don't know where Monk's Walk is, it's pretty much a public pathway that runs pretty much behind Nemesis, through where Blair Witch was at Fright Nights, and pretty much all the way down to where platform 15 was. So yeah, potentially down there, and maybe loop back around and, you know, come back to the station, potentially being on the Swarm Islands. Yeah, it's not really that much of sort of a good sort of speculation as some of the other coasters. it's not as likely, and I don't really see investing in something like this. I feel like if they're gonna do something, they'll do it when they know that they can do it and pull it off properly. And I feel like a hyper coaster at the park isn't really fitting of what they do. I mean, keeping the futuristic theme in, it could, but if it's gonna run like this, it could potentially run around the whole park, and yeah, it'd be a little bit messy. But just think what it could do to the skyline of this park, having a massive hyper coaster there behind all of the rides. So yeah, that is pretty much it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. I know that this video was a little bit bad but to be honest, I've been trying to film all afternoon, and to be honest, this is the only thing I've settled on. For those of you that did actually suggest any video ideas from last week's video, I will be making those. I will be making them this weekend, and they will be released next week, so do not worry about that because they are coming. So without further ado, I will see you guys next week, and yeah, see you later.